Good evening and welcome to the Kent Career Tech Center's Automotive Open House. Before we get started, I just want to make a note that we are recording this for future broadcasts. So if you don't want to be on camera, make sure you've got the camera turned off and then you should be all set. My name is Mike McCruel. I'm one of the 4 instructors here in the program. And I want to introduce the rest of my staff here, or at least who's here, before we get started. So go ahead.
Hi, I'm Mr. Vaness. I'm the automotive instructor for electrical. I've been here probably I've been here for 8 years now.
Hi, I'm Mr. Yetzke. I teach the steering and suspensions class, and I've been an instructor here for 7 years.
Hi, my name is Mr. Jeffs, and I teach engines here, and I've been here 7 years.
Hi, I'm Mr. Denoff, and I'm a C2 specialist here, and I am the newest member of the team here.
All righty. My name is Mike McCruel. I teach the brakes class here at the school, and I've been here for 16, 17 years. Just another note before we get started here. We are going to have questions at the end, but if you want to throw a question in the chat, that would be fine. Also, we have some people ready to answer those for you. In addition to the instructors who you've already met and myself, we have 2 people who are unable to make it tonight. One of them is Joe Plowman, and he runs our tool crib or our tool room. That's a special area that houses really every imaginable tool. And the students go in there and talk with him to get the tools for all their labs here in all the classes. The other person we're missing is Julie Bardashevitz, and she is our parts person for our department. So when the students order brake pads, get oil or a filter, they go up to her and order those parts using the repair order. So there's 2 people that couldn't make it tonight, but they are in the program and work with us here every day. The automotive program is certified by a national organization called ASE. ASE is a leader in service technician testing and program reviews. Our program gets reviewed in a major way every 5 years, every 2.5 years for a minor review. And what those reviews do is they make sure we're teaching to the current standards. What that means for you is we don't work on old cars. So if there's a 78 Impala or something, that's really too old for our program. Our certification has us working on newer cars that are going to be relevant to the automotive industry that's out there today. So that's who certifies our program and the instructors. We have 4 different programs out here in the brakes or in the automotive area. One of them is brakes and manual drive lines. Brakes would be the major, and manual drive lines, you can think of it as the minor. So when I'm teaching my brakes class, we focus mostly on brakes and then a little bit on manual drive lines. And each of the areas has that same thing. So engine repair is paired up with engine performance as a minor. Suspensions is paired up with automatic transmissions as a minor. And the electrical class is paired up with heating and air conditioning as a minor. So the students get the 4 main areas, then a little bit of each of the other areas if they're here for 2 years. Each of those classes is an 18-week-long, semester-long class. That means 5 days a week for 2 hours and 15 minutes each day. What time your student arrives here depends on what session they're in. First session starts early in the morning at 6:55 a.m. Second session starts at 9:15 and goes to 11:30. And then third session starts at noon and goes to 2:15. The student has to choose a time that works with their homeschool schedule and their homeschool busing, but they could be here at any of those 3 times. At the end of the semester, so the students start in September and go till December, that'd be first semester. At the end of that semester, all the brakes students will go to the engines class. And let's take a look at that on the next slide, how that may work for you. In this example here, I have a group A and a group B. The juniors are placed in a group by themselves, and seniors are placed in a different group. There is some overlap, and sometimes it does change, and there's some a cross between the juniors and seniors, but mainly it's juniors and seniors. Next year in the fall, I will be teaching first session brakes, and I will have all of the juniors. Mr. Jeffs will be teaching engine repair, and he will have all the seniors. And at the semester change, we'll switch students. If the students return for a second year, those students in Group A will then have electrical, and then they'll end it in the spring with suspensions. So the student, if they attend out here for 2 years, can get all 4 of the automotive classes in that order. Group B is another example of how it may turn out. If your student attends second session and is a junior, you'll be starting in the steering suspensions class. But either way, the students are divided up by juniors and seniors and placed in classes until the enrollment is filled. Students attending the automotive program at the Kent Career Tech Center can earn some high school credit. We do have the embedded math and English credit, along with the science, language, and VPA credit. Each school assigns credit to their students based on their needs. So your student should contact your high school counselor to see what credits they can get for the automotive program if they attend out here for 1 year or if they attend out here for 2 years. The high school counselors will be well informed on this and will be able to answer all those questions based on your student's school. In addition to high school credit, we have college articulation. We articulate with these 4 colleges on your screen: Grand Rapids Community College, Baker College, Ferris State University, and University of Northwestern Ohio. Articulation is when a student takes my brakes class, they score a letter grade of a B or better. That allows them to get articulation where they don't have to take the brakes class at GRCC. They can skip that, save a little money, and move on to the next class. Some colleges like Ferris State require a B or better, but you have to pass the state mechanics test also in order to get their articulation. So if you're interested in one of these 4 colleges, just ask them about articulating the credit they earned here to that college, and they'll be able to help you out. Last week, I was able to grab the video camera and walk around all 4 of the labs. And I shot a little video of our students working. What you see is a combination of bench work, like you see this student here doing, where they practice removing and replacing the shoes on the bench. And then that can go on to working on school cars, which this student is doing here. They're taking the shoes off and putting them on the backing plate on a school car. And then they work their way up to customer cars. So the students in all 4 classes are in that type of rotation and the type of practice ladder for all the classes. So we have someone doing engine repair. Here some students are doing some component ID with the electrical parts of a starter. They got alignments the students are doing here. They're hanging the alignments head on. They'll compensate the heads and do the adjustment of the angles. We have a couple students working on customer cars here, and this student's working on his own car. So he's got a good attendance, he's got a good grade. And because of that, he's able to bring his own car in, and he was able to find a nail in his tire. And because he had the suspensions class and learned how to repair it correctly, he was able to do that repair. And here, the students do work in the shop on their own. Here we got Mr. Yeski helping out a student with a tire machine. Sometimes it just takes an extra set of hands. Students here are adjusting the rear alignment on a Malibu. They're balancing tires on a Prius. So all these sorts of different things they can get done. We have at the Kent Career Tech Center here many business partners. And the business partners on your screen right now are from the automotive sector. We work with all these dealers and independent repair facilities, plus a long list of others that aren't on this list. The repair facilities that are in bold are where we have students this semester. So some of my students are here 3 days a week in my class, and 2 days a week, they're at their employer working, gaining that on-the-job skills and relating what they learned here to the world of work. So for Bergs, you can see the Fox Motor Group. We have a student up at GMC on Alpine, Sarah, Berger, Cool, Ziegler, and West Michigan Mechanical. In addition to the hands-on learning and the other things we do here, we do some regular testing also, of course. but we offer the state mechanic certification in all 4 of our areas. So the students are able to take the classes here and take the state mechanic certification test. That is the credential needed to work on cars in the state of Michigan. So it's very important that the students start to get those if they intend to work on cars in the state of Michigan. Some of the other certifications are the ASC Student G1, which will again show the employers what the students have learned by having the certificate. Ford certification, which is the same as the dealer training the Ford technicians take. We do some of that. We got Valvoline and AC Delco training, all of which the students do get certificates for, and it's a way for them to show the employers what they know. Some of the jobs available in the automotive field are listed on the screen here. Automotive technician is probably the most popular. If I go to a car dealer someplace, I see lots and lots of former students who are working on cars at their employers, but they could also be a service advisor, a service manager, work in the parts sector, work their way up to be service manager, or even a service engineer, which is a really exciting program that Ferris State University has for the 4-year students, where they go out and work in the engineering side of the manufacturers. So maybe for Ford corporate or Toyota corporate, they'd be working for them and doing some really interesting cutting edge stuff. So there's many, many things to do in the automobile industry besides working on cars. So we should be able to find something that you like to do somewhere in this industry. We have a video here from a student, a former student. I went and saw him at his dealer and asked him a couple questions, and we're going to play that for you.
Okay, so why don't you go ahead and just tell us your name and what year you graduated from high school?
Zach Julian. I graduated in 2016.
Okay, where are you working?
I'm working at Borgman Mazda.
What type of work do you perform at that dealer?
At that dealer, I perform engine work, tranny work, a lot of warranty work, basic electrical. You know, pretty much anything that involves automotive, I work on.
Okay. How did the classes at KCTC prepare you for working at the dealership?
A lot of the basic classes at KCTC helped me like with electrical, helped me learn the basic electrical in that class, and then put that forward towards this GRCC classes and in general electrical work at the dealership.
Okay, so you did continue your education after high school then. You thought it was important enough to go someplace, and you went, where'd you go again?
I went to GRCC, Grand Rapids Community College, and got my associates in automotive technologies. A lot of that is a lot of automotive classes that continue to teach you how to work on cars and are really helpful when you get to that dealership level and start working on a lot of more technical stuff at the dealership.
Okay, Zach, I think that was it. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was fantastic to go see Zach at his dealer a couple weeks ago. I stopped in to chat him up, and it was great seeing him. He's a great student, great person. It's really nice to stop and see him. The dealers are fantastic, a support mechanism for us and for the students. We have a Facebook page for the automotive department, and we use that to post our jobs. So the employers will call up or let us know they're looking for someone, and on that we post our jobs. We also post videos of some of the student work. So if you want to take a look at that, the address is right up on the screen, and you can just kind of go through that. One of the things that, if you're wondering about the automotive industry, the Fox Motor Group just sent us something today, a really good layout about the different jobs and the pay you can expect to make in those jobs. So visit the automotive Facebook page, click on that link from Fox Motor Group, and that should be pretty informative for you. Thank you for coming by tonight and listening to our little presentation, and you have a great evening.